there's a very good chance you are wasting your time and following up with people you shouldn't be following up with. And I want to show you a clip from today's coaching call. And if you're not on it, shame on you. Why aren't you? It's totally free. And we're going over what's working well in our market here in Denver, that can extrapolate out to any city in the country. And I dug through some stats. I'm a numbers guy. If you know me, I track just about everything I can. And I dug into the last 31 deals that I've written to find out how long it took between them reaching out to me and me getting a deal signed. And it's kind of going against a lot of stuff that we've always heard in our real estate careers, at least 50% of it, right? So you need to watch this video. You need to join our next coaching call this next week, and you're going to find some incredible value from this. And as always, whatever questions you got, feel free, reach out. I nerded out over the last 24 hours. And I wanted to know, and we'll zoom in a little bit. I wanted to know what types of deals I was writing and how long it actually took to get the deal signed. Right? From them reaching out, like, and I don't know, like, how much is my long-term follow-up doing in comparison to just people being ready to strike? And I went through the last 31 deals that I wrote. So over the last year and a half or so. And it wasn't easy. Like, I wish I would have had 50 to 100 or so. I could probably get it, but I beat my head against the wall. And so I just went through the list, and I first started tracking just, okay, the lead came in X date. When did I have a signed contract? Right. And I mean, we're looking at the list here. I mean, we got 0 days, right? So same day, met. Next day, next day, next day, next day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 days, 4 days, 4 days. Like 50% of the list or more is under the first week since they reached out. From reaching out to meeting to contract signed, whether that was us buying it, whether that was us listing it, whether that was signing a fix and list, whether that was buying it to then wholesale it off, right? This is the front end part of it, right? So this isn't like reached out to closing. This is reached out to contract, right? And then from there, still within the first 30 days, another handful, and then it starts trickling over. And I got one anomaly, that took about a year to get, a couple at around the 4 to 6 month period, but everything else was under 90 days, right? So I was like, okay, this is interesting. Now, part two is what kind of deals are we writing depending on how long, like how ready are people given the certain deal types? And what was interesting is how many of them were fixing lists within the first week, right? We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of this list of deals happened within a week that were fix and list deals. And every single freaking one of these wanted cash in their pocket except for Jill Farshman.
Well, and 100% of the ones that are in foreclosure were 6 days.
Interesting.
That's Armando, the one foreclosure.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
There he is.
So, it's just interesting data. I don't know if I have a very, the perfect, okay, what does this actually mean? So at first glance, what this is telling me is that if I could double or triple the leads on the front end and forget following up with anybody else after 3 to 4 weeks of filling out their information, I would still have a very successful business, right? And maybe more so. So the part where maybe I'm lacking is on the leads that I didn't get a deal on, am I not getting on the phone with them quickly enough, right? Or two, am I missing, since I don't have many deals over 4 to 6 months, is my long-term follow-up actually crap? Right? So those are the two questions it raises for me, and I don't think there's a real way for me to know the answer to it. But it was just interesting to see how many of them actually closed really quick, like who was ready to go. And these are all Google and Facebook, right? There's no referrals in here. There's no buyers in here. There's none of that other part of my business. So I went through ChatGPT and I wanted it to pull out some stats like, hey, what are some key takeaways, right? So average days to contract was 39.9, right? So 40 days. We take out that one anomaly, and that took a year, and it's under 30 days, right? Median days to contract, 7 days, right? Um, the amount that closed under 7 days is over 50%, right? So if that doesn't tell you how much more attention those people need than anybody else, like I don't know what else to show you, right? Like that first 7 days, these people are ready to go. You either have the solution for them or you don't. Um, Slow closers, people over 90 days is only 13% of my deals. Uh, and then the most common type of deal was a fix and list, right? And a lot of these, we did not do work on their property, but we offered them cash up front to pay off their foreclosure, like whatever they're behind, and then just list the property, right? So we're making another 2, 3, 4 grand on just literally cutting them a check and then listing their property. And then 30 to 60 days later, the deal is closed. And so we're making another few grand on top of the listing agreement. 10 of these are fix and lists, 9 of these are listings. So 19 listings total. 7 of them were purchases to flip for either me or Eric, and we wholesaled 5 of them off. So yeah, I think this just goes to show like the leads that are coming in, you're not going to get a hold of every one of them, right? You're not going to close every one of them by any means, but those that you can set up a meeting with right away, they're going to make a decision, right? Whether it's you or whether it's somebody else, they're ready to go, right? So that's just what I did. And what I'd like to know too, and I'll see if I can start tracking this anyway, how many contacts it actually took me to get that deal signed, right? Was it one phone call, set up a meeting, boom, bang, it's done? Like these people that took 2 weeks to 3 months. Like how many times did I bug these people, right? How many times did I call them and follow up? Is it 3 times? Is it 10 times? Is it 20 times? Like I'd like to know that information, but that takes a little bit more to dig into, potentially. So yeah, and just going back to all these things we've heard, it takes on average 8 contacts with somebody before you get a deal. Not for 50% of my deals, right? It takes one. Like it's a, hey, great, tell me about your house. This is what you want to do. Awesome. When can I come by? And then the deal is happening, right? Um, I'm not chasing people down for 3, 6, 9, 12 months for the majority of my deals. So yeah, what you guys, if you guys look at this, like does anything jump out to you that is interesting or kind of an anomaly, or does it tell you a story? Like, what do you guys see when I show you this?
I'm excited about the fixing list. I mean, just making that more, and that's what I'm doing in this whole effort of building my business back up, is making that my primary, which that hasn't been in the past. Fix and flip. I mean, not fix and flip, but flip is what I did the most of, and
Yeah.
the hold. So I'm just excited. I think those numbers just confirm that this is the path I'm wanting to go down anyway.
Yeah.
It says 2 things to me. One, I'm kind of surprised that the fix and list deals are not ever happening on people that are long-term nurture.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of odd. And then the other thing it says to me is, it looks to me like it's better to put 80% of your effort into new leads and 20% of your effort into older leads, because, look, that's a long time period that like, yeah, maybe it's about 40% of your leads are 16 days or more, but that's a lot more people, right? Like the close rate is so small. Like the number of people that were in your pipeline for 9 days or less is 1/10 of the number of people that were in your pipeline for more than 9 days. So
Yeah.
I think this visually gives you the wrong idea. Even it's dismal, the closing rate on the longer term leads.
Yeah. And when they're turning into listings, right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, the kind of the secondary part of that is what this is telling me is I think the Shonda lady, she was an anomaly. Her place is already in good shape. This one was a land deal that was expired. So if we literally got rid of those first 2, it would be Jessica Abeda was in foreclosure, needed paint and carpet job. She had a problem. We were instantly able to solve it. Marilyn Taylor was in foreclosure, did a carpet and paint job. She had a problem. We gave her cash, instantly had a problem. Robert Duplessis, this was an estate sale. He had a problem. We instantly solved it. Jim Burkhead, he had something going on behind the scenes that we may never know about, but he had immediate problems. Yeah, totally.
He was in the middle of a divorce. That's the best way to put that.
That was the most painful one that we hit it out of the park. We literally sold this guy's house for more than $100,000 more than our original listing agreement, and he was still upset with us about it. So that just, $1 million price point. The thing, Say it again.
Who's Nita? How come I don't remember that?
Nita Hahn. She was on Himalaya. She was a bigger house. You took that thing the whole way.
Wait, I remember Nita now. I got to know her.
Yeah, totally. No. So she had a life-changing event.
She goes by a different name. Issues. She doesn't go by Nita. That's why.
No, she doesn't. Yeah, that's exactly. So she had a life-changing health event, and we fixed that and solved that. Jill Farshman, it was an estate sale, didn't want to manage the shit. Robert Hain was an estate sale, out-of-state seller, didn't want to handle it. Antoinette DeGeorge, I think she was one of those. I don't remember her so much. Joyce Robinson, you know her. Money issues. Blanca, foreclosure, money issues. Lisa Carreri, same thing. Like this whole list down the line is problem. We're solving it right away. And then everybody else, as you start to go on, they're the ones with more ways and means. They have more money. They have job security. And so they turn into more listings, right? And they take longer. And they're not as motivated.
If you think about these people's options, they have cash buyers and then us. And we're the only one that's standing in front of them, showing them that we can get them tens of thousands of dollars more than everybody else because we're offering the fix and list and no one else is.